Here's the thing, your pine bonsai won't die if you skip this technique. But you could lose the shape and the structure you've worked so hard to build. In this video, we are breaking down pinching pine bonsai, why it's so important, how to time it right, and exactly how to do it step by step. Pinching here means removing the tip of a new shoot. It's not the same as decandling, where you cut off the entire shoot in hope of creating shorter needles. You're just gently pinching the very tip before the needles fully open. But why does pinching matter so much? There are 5 reasons. First, it helps create finer branches with shorter internals. If you let candles grow without pinching, it keeps stretching well into summer, and as it grows, it thickens branches. Pinching early keeps both the branches slim and the internals compact. Second, it encourages new buds. Though pines don't bud instantly like deciduous trees, pinching redirects energy, which hopefully helps create new buds in different spots and build finer branches over time. Third, it creates bifurcation. Leaving more than 2 buds at a junction causes swelling at the spot. By reducing the buds to 2, we can keep a natural taper and flow in the branch structure. Fourth, it balances energy. Stronger shoots are pinched harder, while weaker ones are left alone, helping the whole tree grow evenly. This also helps prevent inner or lower shoots from dying off. Finally, it maintains the tree's size. Without pinching, inner buds may die and we lose future cutback options. Japanese pines with no inner buds can't be cut back. The branch will simply die. Pinching gives us future cutback options and keeps the tree compact without losing its shape. In short, the goal of pinching is to make your bonsai compact with finer branching. Timing is everything. You want to pinch in mid-spring, say May, when the new shoots have just started to elongate but before the needles fully open. The exact timing varies based on your region and tree, but a good sign is when the candle has grown out a bit and the tips are still soft. One important thing to remember, you don't pinch every shoot at once. Do it gradually. In a week or so after first pinching, weaker or lower shoots start to grow. You may then go over this process again. If you are enjoying so far and like more seasonal tips like this, I share exclusive care guides and behind-the-scenes contents in my newsletter. Check the link in the description below. So, which pine trees benefit the most from pinching? This technique is especially useful for Japanese black pine, Japanese red pine, and Japanese white pine, all of which respond well to this technique. But whether or not to pinch also depends on the development stage of your tree. If your tree is around 5 years or older and in training, it's usually at the right stage for pinching. This helps guide its structure and encourage finer growth. However, for younger trees like 2 to 3-year-old seedlings, pinching isn't a good idea. At that stage, the goal is to build strength and size. Pinching too early can weaken the tree and slow down its development. On the other hand, if your tree is more mature and refined and your goal is to have shorter needles, pinching might not be necessary. Instead, you may use decandling technique to cut off entire shoot in early summer to manage needle size. Now, let's go over how to pinch new shoots step by step. The goal is twofold. 1. To reduce the number of new shoots to just 2 at each growing point, and 2. To balance their strength. Step 1. Identify multiple shoots. The new shoots of pine trees look like a stick with white fuzzy coating. On healthy, strong trees, you might see 3 or more shoots growing from one branch. So, we leave just 2 shoots to continue growing from each spot. Step 2. Remove shoots. Start by removing the strongest shoot, as it can overpower the rest and makes other shoots to weaken. Once you remove the strongest shoot, focus on leaving 2 equal-sized shoots. Step 3. Pinch the remaining shoots. Once you've reduced the number of shoots, pinch them back to an appropriate length. Look carefully at the shoot. You may see green and stem-like parts near the base. This part won't turn into needles. So, leave the green stem section and some of the needle-producing part intact. As a rough guideline, you want to leave around half to 1/3 of the shoot length. Remember, the goal is to balance the strength of shoots. Use your fingers to gently pinch the shoot in the direction of the other tree, which will break it off cleanly. Step 4. Pinch in stages. Now, shoots on the lower, weaker branches of the tree grow slower than those stronger or at the top. As I said earlier, don't try to pinch everything at once. You can go over this process after a week or so when weaker or lower shoots start to grow. And if you're working with red pine or trees with weaker vigor, don't pinch too aggressively. Instead, leave a bit more length on the shoots to help the tree recover and continue growing well. And there you have it! Pinching might seem small, but it's one of the most powerful techniques in pine bonsai care. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.